Hi everybody, welcome to Tech Growth Stocks channel. Today I present you a new episode. Specifically, I will give you 5 strong fintech stocks for 2021. So these fintech stocks have exposure to the digital payment and mobile payment space as well, and they have good growth and very strong momentum. So I think it definitely pays to watch that video until the end with me and have a look at all of these strong fintech stocks. So before I start right off with the first strong digital payment or fintech stock, I have to make a short disclaimer. This video does not constitute financial advice. It's for entertainment purposes only, so please consider that. And also one more quick note, please subscribe now to my channel with a link in the description below so that going forward you do not miss any market leading stocks from me. So please subscribe now. Okay, so that was it for the intro. So let's start right off with the first strong fintech stock for 2021. And as you can see it in the chart, it is SI, Silvergate Capital. Here you can see the long-term chart of Silvergate, and as you can see, Silvergate was a recent IPO in November 2019, so it's a quite young company, and that matters because in general, in the first 10 years after their IPOs, the stocks have their strongest runs, or you can say in the first 10 years after their IPOs, 95% of their super performance is happening in this phase. So it definitely pays to look out for young companies in strong sectors and new strong trends. So because these could have multiple strong price increases, very huge increases. And we can see, yes, Silvergate was an IPO in 2019 November. After its IPO, it formed a nice IPO base here and had a long-term or longer sideways movement until, let's say, October 2020, when it could break out of that sideways movement and trade strongly to the upside. We had a very strong move since October 2020. I mean, you can see it here. I mean, we just traded from $16, around $16. We just traded to $160, a 10 times move in just a couple of months. In let's say 4 months or a little bit longer, around 4 months, a 10 times move. I mean, that is a quite strong move for a stock. And yeah, I mean, and when we look in the short-term chart, we see that move as well. Yeah, here we were just moving sideways, and then we are accelerating to the upside in Silvergate. And you can see as well, yeah, the 10-day moving average on the daily chart here has been a very strong supporting line, and then we bounce here of the 20-day, and yeah, and recently here we bounced of the 30-day moving average and just accelerated to the upside. So Silvergate from a momentum perspective is looking excellent here, and it's in the strong fintech space, so I think it's definitely a very strong fintech stock for 2021. And when we look at the growth characteristics for Silvergate, these are excellent as well. So the moment when we look at the EPS growth, it's 76%, which is very good, and the sales growth is good as well with 26%, and the relative strength rating is very strong with 96. So with these characteristics, Silvergate is definitely a very strong fintech stock for 2021. Okay, so that was it for Silvergate. Now let's have a look at the next strong fintech stock for 2021, and it is SEC Limited. Here you can see the long-term chart of C Limited, and as you can see, C Limited was a recent IPO in October 2017. After its IPO, it formed its IPO base here, and then it could break out of that IPO base around March 2019 and form a nice and strong uptrend since then. In the short-term chart here, we see a nice strong uptrend, and we are bouncing off these moving averages quite often here, of the 40-day here, of the 40-day, of the 40-day again, here around the 30-day, and here around the 50-day. Yeah, we are just bouncing off these short-term moving averages strongly and trading to the upside. And recently we had an acceleration move in C Limited here, a strong bounce and an acceleration to the upside. When we look at the growth characteristics for C, the EPS growth is very strong with 65%, and the sales growth is also very strong with 100%, and the relative strength rating is good with 94. So with these characteristics, C is definitely a strong fintech stock for 2021. Okay, so that was it for C Limited. Now let's have a look at the next strong fintech stock for 2021. And it is PDD, Pinduoduo. Here you can see the long-term chart of Pinduoduo, and as you can see, Pinduoduo was an IPO in July 2018. After its IPO, it formed a nice IPO base here, and then it could break out of that IPO base around September 2019 and form nice and strong uptrend since then. In the short-term chart, we see an uptrend here, and here we see a period of pause, which is a base. And yeah, we broke out of that base recently in November, on November 3rd, and we traded strongly to the upside and continued strongly with that uptrend. And yeah, recently here you see nice bounces of the moving averages here of the 30-day, again of the 30-day, and again of the 30-day, and we just bounced into new high ground. And yeah, from a technical standpoint, Pinduoduo is looking excellent here. When we look at the growth characteristics, the EPS growth is sluggish, it's minus 42%, but the sales growth is very good with 77%, and the relative strength rating is also good with 94. So with these characteristics, Pinduoduo is definitely a strong fintech stock for 2021. Okay, so that was it for Pinduoduo. Now we come to the next strong fintech stock, and it is ZG, Zillow Group. Here you can see the long-term chart of Zillow Group, and as you can see, Zillow was in a long-term sideways volatile move, sideways move for quite some time. And yeah, and also recently here we had a Corona breakdown in Pinduoduo, but we could reverse from the March 2020 low, trade to the upside, break the downtrend, and form a nice and very strong uptrend in Zillow Group. And also we formed a new uptrend in Zillow Group. So from this, so Zillow is currently looking very strong here compared to the previous movement. And in the short-term chart, we see that nice and very strong uptrend. And we see as well, here we bounce of the 40-day moving average, of the 50-day again, of the 30-day rebounds. Here we had a little shakeout of the, we undercut the 50-day a little bit, but bounced again. But we could say when we look at the longer-term chart, we bounced of the 100-day here with that low. And then, yeah, recently we bounced of the 50-day again, and then we accelerated to the upside, and we had an earnings gap up. And yeah, from a technical standpoint, Zillow Group is looking excellent here. When we look at the growth characteristics, the EPS growth is sluggish, it's minus 73%, and the sales growth is plus 8%, and the relative strength rating is okay with 89. And yeah, Zillow Group, as said, is in the hot fintech space, so I think Zillow Group is also a strong fintech stock for 2021. Okay, so that was it for Zillow Group. Now we come to the last strong fintech stock for 2021, and it is SNAP, Snap. Here you can see the long-term chart of Snap, and as you can see, Snap was an IPO in February 2017, and after its IPO it formed a long-term downtrend and it made its low with that downtrend in December 2018, when it could reverse from that low, trade to the upside and form a nice and strong uptrend since then. And we can see as well we had a corona breakdown in 2020 and made a low in March 2020, but we reversed from that low and continued strongly with that previous uptrend. In the short-term chart, we see an uptrend here, and here we see a short-term base or a short-term period of pause, and we had an earnings breakout here, a strong breakout, and we traded to the upside, and now we are trading higher and higher in Snapchat and in Snap, and we recently bounced off the 20-day moving average, and here we bounced off the 50-day moving average. And one note, Snap is a long-term holding in my long-term equity growth strategy. A link is in the description where you can monitor the performance of that strategy, and you are invited also to monitor the performances of all of my other strategies. And there have been some very strong strategies. The tech momentum stock strategy, which is now up over 50% in a quite short time period, and also the tech IPO strategy as well, plus over 50% in just around 2 months, a little bit longer. So I mean, these are excellent performances. So if you like them, why not subscribe now to my channel and have a look with me from time to time at the best stocks in the market, and that is my channel all about. So I invite you to have a look at my strategies and my videos from time to time. Okay, so now we come look at the growth characteristics for Snap, and the EPS growth is sluggish, it's minus 33%, but the sales growth is very good with 57%, and the relative strength rating is good as well with 90. So with these characteristics, Snap is definitely a strong fintech stock for 2021. Okay, so that was it for Snap, and this was the last fintech stock for today. I hope in that video are some nice fintech stocks which you can use for your research. And also please subscribe now to my channel with the link in the description below, so that going forward you do not miss any market leading stocks from me. So please subscribe now. And I thank you for watching that video. I had fun making it, and I think this year will be an excellent stock trading and investing year with all that fiscal and monetary stimulus going around the world from all of these central banks and governments. So I think it definitely pays to invest your time in your research for your stock investment. So I think we will have a very strong year and years to come. Okay, so I thank you again for watching that video, and I hope to see you again in the future. Cheers.